Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your HIMediaTV news update. I am your host, and the UN abstains in Gaza ceasefire vote on the UN Security Council. The article I'm going to be extrapolating a little bit from is by Nadine Ibrahim and Abbas Al-Lawati from CNN. Following several failed attempts over the 5-month Israel's devastating war in Gaza, the UN Security Council on Monday finally passed a resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire in the United States, which had been the only remaining hurdle to such a call, decided not to strike down the resolution by abstaining. The vote came as a shock to Israel, which saw its decades-old ally abstain rather than veto the move, as it has constantly done for the last 80-some years in its diplomatic backing of the Jewish state. Israeli officials lambasted the resolution, saying they have no intention of ceasing fire. More than 32,000 people have been killed in Gaza, most of them children, in operations Israel launched after Hamas-led militants attacked the country on October 7th, killing 1,200 people and taking 250 hostages. Israel criticized the language of the resolution, saying it doesn't firmly tie to a ceasefire to the freeing of hostages held in Gaza. The text demands an immediate ceasefire and also demands the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. A failed resolution proposed by the U.S. last week demands a ceasefire that was directly tied to releasing the hostages. While the U.S. says the latest resolution is non-binding, experts differ on whether it is the case in the key language of the document they say. Israel is malding, coping, and seething. They're being sad, angry little piss babies about it. Wah, 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 wah. Now, I want to be very clear here to those listening who are thinking, like, yay, ceasefire, violence stops. You have to remember that this vote gives the UN teeth, but not necessarily a way to enforce it, because the UN doesn't have an army. The UN does not have a military. When military action does happen, member states will donate troops for the enforcement of these things. And there is generally very much a hesitancy for any country to send any of its troops to go fight to go like be deployed in a foreign land under a coalition, especially things that are contentious like this, which can result in troop deployments are generally unpopular in any nation by and large, so it will remain to be seen. Also, it really depends on the nation that's providing them. There is a good chance that if you provide troops from a place like, I don't know, Russia, there's not a non-zero chance that those troops would commit war crimes. Also, Putin is busy in trying to do an imperialism on Ukraine, so they need all the troops they can get. The U.S. is abstained, so they're not going to donate, especially since so many people they're just pure Zionists in the government. Also, there's a very good chance that if a international coalition did come in and enforce a ceasefire, they would have to shoot at and get shot at by Israeli occupation forces, the IOF. So it remains to be seen. I'm doubtful that anything's going to come of this, but it does show that, at the very least, it does show Israel that, hey, your leeway with this is kind of at the end of its rope. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, this has been your HIMediaTV News Day update. I am your host. I appreciate your time and your listenership, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one. Also, go to himedia.gg/tip to support the show.